Hello everybody, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be doing something a little different than normal. We're going to be breaking down some gameplay. This was a competitive roller queue game. The map we played on was Flashpoint Suravasa. I started off with Yuriko. She's one of my main heroes that I like to play, and she's also a secondary utility support hero. Although heroes get swapped throughout the entire game, the enemy team was primarily dive heroes, while my team was primarily brawl heroes. So the first thing I'm going to do is speed boost my team outside of spawn, then swap back to carry. I do this to help the slower heroes get to the team fight faster. Our first team fight was kind of a mess. By the time we had managed to catch up to Reinhardt, he gets picked. Anna and I both waste our utility trying to save him. However, our Sombra manages to get a cheeky pick on Hanzo. We retreat back to the point as it's about to unlock. We start to contest. I get dove by their Doomfist and Tracer. Since I managed to pick Tracer before I died, the teamfight is left 3v3. We have 2 DPS, 1 support. They have 2 support, 1 tank. With our current comp versus their current comp, we easily win that teamfight. These small things leave my team winning the fight, and we're able to capture the point. Right here, we're actually going to start fighting off the point. We're going to engage in a team fight over to the right. Ren's going to go back and contest Tracer at this moment. The reason why we want to take the team fight off the point is, 1, we've already engaged over here before Tracer even touched the point, so we would have to retreat. It wouldn't make sense to turn our back to 4 people to fight 1 person, or keep our back turned towards 1 person who's a flank to fight 4. There's nothing wrong with preventing the enemy from getting any type of progress in the game. However, you do have to understand that trying to prevent 10-20% could lose you the point and ultimately cost your team more than 10-20% than it would if you had just waited, won the team fight off the point, turned around, cleaned up the stragglers, then recapped. So what's going to happen is, Tracer's going to fully cap the point while Reinhardt comes back to our team to regroup. We're now 5v2. Iari is currently running for her life. Spoilers, she doesn't make it. We kill her shortly after Tracer re-enters the fight. At this point in time, we're having a 4v1, v1v1. Does that make sense? If I die here, it hurts my team. If Tracer dies here, it hurts her team. That is why I'm currently playing against my team here. I could simply shift away in this moment and completely disengage from the team fight. I don't like to do this. I don't like to shift unless I have another reason besides, oh, you've engaged me. 1, if I disengage, I have to commit to my disengage because I have nowhere else to go if my disengage doesn't work. That being said, I can't just go to Reinhardt or Anna if I leave. I would have to go to the DPS, who are pretty far away. Which means, if I disengage, the next person that Tracer would then go after is Anna. I don't know if Anna has sleep at this moment in time. I don't think she does because she slept Doomfist the teamfight before. Either way, you don't rely on a skill shot versus an assassin hero. If I shift away and Anna died, it's not Anna's fault. It would be my fault for leaving her alone with an assassin hero because I wanted to play defensive. I have more mobility than Anna. I can get back to the point faster than Anna. There would be absolutely no reason for me to survive here over Anna, which is why you see me play the way I do sometimes, and why it's okay to die sometimes. It's okay to bait out certain abilities to guarantee that you die and not the person that's going to carry your team. And 2, I want to maintain my threat. I want to maintain how you view me as another player, that I am a threat. If you are attacking me, you have to commit to me or I will kill you. I already killed her at the very start of the game. We traded with each other. Doomfist technically killed me, but if she hadn't gotten me one shot, he wouldn't have killed me. So, in my eyes, she killed me. We both hold a high level of threat versus each other. Tracer can kill me, she knows she can kill me, but she also knows that I can kill her. And that's why you see her play defensive here in a moment. Now that she has used her recall, I can safely use my shift anywhere. The reason why I'm okay with using my shift now, because of the recall, is if she does dive Arana, she's fully committed to her positioning since she has used recall. I'm 42 HP. I am just a little over a melee from dying. For those who don't know, they changed the melee damage from 30 to 40 whenever they adjusted the 200 HP to 250 HP. I'm in danger, to say the least. She uses her dash. In this moment, it's not really about using her dash so much as it is about buying myself time. I have only a few seconds left on my Suzu. I have nowhere truly to run. I could dash backwards to Ana, but unfortunately in this specific scenario, Reinhardt is kind of right in front of my face. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room I have unless I wanted to turn. I do feel like if I had waited or turned before I dash, she probably would have killed me. I got as low as 13 HP. Granted, Ana does heal me towards the end, but I wouldn't have died to Tracer as they managed to kill her before the final bullets would have hit me. I do feel like the small frames, those 0.25 seconds of immunity that I got while I was dashing, did save my life. I also want to take note, I stand still here. Please, if you're ever with an Ana, stand still for her in moments where you don't need to move. So here we have another close team fight. This is a great example of understanding who you need to prioritize as the secondary healer. To break down our team comp real quick, I'm the secondary healer, Ana is going to be our primary healer. My job is to keep the DPS alive, sustain the primary. The primary's main job is to keep the tank alive, sustain the secondary. We help each other, help the team. They could have easily killed us here as well. My rush was well timed in this scenario. I used my Suzu to give our cowboy invulnerability as he crosses the gap, as we don't have a Reinhardt to shield us. Hanzo is standing to the left on the point, shooting down at us. There really is no good way to go. As well as Tracer pushes our Ana using Pulse Bomb. Since I rushed outside of the point going into the point, it actually gave Ana the speed boost she needed to get out of the Pulse Bomb in time. If she had died here, in the next few moments I would have died without her. After Ana managed to escape Tracer, I'm in Tracer's line of sight, which is why she jumps to me instead of Ana. I shift to Ana to save myself, and in this moment Ana is my number one. If I keep her alive, she can keep the tank alive, which means I can keep Sombra alive, which means Sombra will keep us alive, which means we'll win. That's kind of how I see it. I throw Suzu to help her Ana make it through the dragons. I get pushed by Doom, shift to Ana that I just helped through the dragons as my escape, and successfully get away and disengage from that team fight. Moira jumped in right behind Doomfist and pushed the position I was just in. She did fully commit with Doomfist, that's all they could really do in that specific scenario. However, I had already managed to secure my escape and their safety to the other side of the point and then use that escape, leaving Moira and Doomfist completely out in the open and off the point. This allows us to capture the point without having to contest on overtime. So the next few teamfights are pretty rough. We can't really get a good teamfight in. We're not staggered team-wise, but we are staggered ult-wise. And they are able to just get ult faster than we're able to get our ults here. So that allows them to just rotate and kill us. I run by the 30-60 rule when it comes to flashpoint capture games. What I mean by 30-60 is anything before 30%, you only have time for 2 team fights. Anything between 30 and 60%, you have enough time for 1 team fight. Anything after 60%, it's very unlikely your team will be able to fully regroup and attack the objective. You will be able to go stall heroes in certain scenarios after 60%, but it's not something I would rely on as an actual strategy. Right now, it's just me and Ren left. We both die at 30%. This means we have one more team fight to come back and fight again fully as a team without swapping heroes to contest. So let's see that happen. As we push in, we hit the 60% threshold. At this point, this means we have to fully commit to this team fight. We are past 60%. They didn't kill us immediately at the choke with all of their ults. We have time to kill them right now, but we're not going to have enough time to wipe and come back. I pressed Q to rush. Ana was spamming help in this moment. I thought I could rush, turn around, and help, but unfortunately she died before I could do that. If I had turned around before and pressed Suzu, then rushed, then healed, I might have been able to save her, but I can't guarantee it. And I'm not sure saving her here would have changed the course of the team fight. I still think that Genji would have killed one of us, or if we had turned to kill Genji, having our backs turned to the rest of the enemy team would have resulted in another person getting picked, crumbling our team either way. I do end up swapping here. It's because if I die 3 times in a row without contributing to the team somehow, some way, I swap. The reason why I do this is because I'm playing the utility/secondary support role. This gives you a lot of leeway in what you can do and freedom in the game that the primary support doesn't have. I do prefer the secondary support role. I do feel like it is up to the secondary support to swap and to counter. That's a hot take. I think if you can play a counter hero very well, you should swap to that hero to win. But if we're saying we're all pros and we're all on the same skill level, I think secondary support should always have to swap. Secondary DPS should have to swap. It should never fall onto the primary DPS, support, or tank. I'm going Mercy here because I'm utilizing what I learned about my team from the first point and what I learned about the enemy team in the second point to pick who I'm going to go for the third point. Let me elaborate on that. We had a trade on the fights that we won, but on the fights that we lost, we got stopped. So in my eyes, if I can res the pick, then we'll win. I'm always apprehensive to pick Mercy. I do not want people to give up just because I understand the players that come into mind when they see someone pick that hero. She can be good in the right hands with the right comp. I really enjoy the mobility and freedom that she has. Just like if you're enjoying this video, to support the channel, leave a like and subscribe. Right here is also a crazy moment. Since we captured the point, we're playing a little greedy and aggressive. We're seeing the enemy team regroup while we look for a cheeky pick. We know that they're about to engage since they regrouped with their tank. The second their tank respawns, we respect their team comp, giving them some distance. Which is a really good thing that we did because we immediately get Dragon Blade and Doomfist Stove. How I live here? I don't know. I feel like I should have died. We respect them, go back, I shift control up to the roof to get away from the cowboy. Our cowboy high noons to kill the enemy team. He gets a pick on Doomfist. I drop down and go around the building. I don't want to put myself in harm's way by going through the door, especially when res is off cooldown, so I'm able to res our cowboy. I pushed up and I take ult charge. Typically I would let Ana have ult charge off the tank, but she already had her ult and I was close to my ult, so I went ahead and slurped that charge up. Which allows me to ult here. Our Sombra gets nanoed and EMPs their Zenyatta, which is super overkill, but it guarantees a pick during the last team fight, which really isn't a bad thing if you consider one pick means the difference. Specifically here, because he had Transcendence and Moore also had Coalescence. I use Valk, Ana uses Nano, and we cap the point. Capping the point most likely reassured my team that Mercy was a good pick, and it also reassured myself that it was a good pick, but I know for a fact that reassurance quickly disappeared whenever this happened. If play the game was meant for the worst play in the game, this would have been it. I shouldn't have done that. I should have shifted away to Ren or our cowboy, assisted them with Genji, hopefully fast enough to turn around and res Ana. Instead, I feel like I was dead either way, being dove by Genji and Doom at the same time, so I just YOLO'd for the res in hopes that Ana could stay alive and keep everyone else alive in the time that I could get back. But unfortunately, it just didn't play out that way. This was a very bad exchange, and it was all my fault. I will take full responsibility for that, and I was thinking about it right here. Even though Sombra was capping the point during this moment, and we did manage to stall out a few more percentage because of the res, it definitely wasn't worth the position it left my team in. Right here we have to blow 4 ults to win, which is horrible. We exchange 30% for 60%. If we follow the 30-60 rule, we don't have another opportunity to fully fight as a team. Here we actually end up losing not because I messed up the res, but since I messed up the res, we were forced into an uncomfortable position that, unfortunately, my team didn't handle under pressure. With how we won the point prior to this one, giving the enemy team some space and kiting out abilities is the strat. My team did get split. Reinhardt rightfully fell back as the enemy team pushed up with the threat they have because of their ults. Our Cowboy did end up going against the enemy team 1v3, going against Third Cowboy, Zenyatta, and Doomfist. With how the enemy team was positioned, we couldn't really assist him. Even though our Cowboy was 1v3, we're still technically 4v5, as none of them are dead, and we can't attack a single one of them at this current moment without having to deal with the other 4 enemies. Unfortunately, this did end up costing the team fight. I don't res the Cowboy here. There's no point in resing in that scenario. I would have just gotten baited out by Doomfist, wasting my res cooldown. Really no point. The only thing my team could have done better in the next few seconds is instead of pressing W out of spawn, we all pressed F. What the enemy team does here is perfect. The enemy team pushes down lane to cut us out of our spawn, pushing us out into an unfavorable position. We get manhandled by Doomfist, dove by Genji, and ultimately destroyed. My team should have anticipated losing the point and accepting defeat on the 4th objective. Since we're on the last objective, we should know which objective will be selected next. Simply because of how flashpoint spawns work, when the 2 furthest points from your spawn is activated, you get forward spawn. When one of the 3 closest points from your spawn is activated, you get further spawn. However, this does set up our team to be in a very good position because of one very specific maneuver. So towards the end here, Doomfist ults. I hear Doomfist ult. I know how Doomfist are. They want to land on their roofs so they can punch you out of the sky because it's flashy and makes them feel powerful and all that good stuff. Respect the ones that can actually hit me, but this is usually what happens to the ones that can't. I will shift up and put myself into a quote-unquote vulnerable position. So right there, I use my shift. My shift is on cooldown. Doomfist sees my shift is on cooldown. He slams on the roof next to me. I position myself in the center of the lane. That way he can't be directly on me, but still close enough that it's tempting to land. He lands next to me, and when he lands, I immediately press Falc. That resets Guardian Angel. I then shift away to my beam target. In this case, my beam is on Roadhog. I shift away immediately, juking Doomfist. He gets hacked by Sombra, antied by Ana. My team is going to turn around and melt him. This sets up the snowball for my team. After this fight, all I really have to do from now on is blue beam my team to victory. The next time we engage with the enemy team, we see Doomfist push in, die immediately. Tracer pushes in after Doomfist is already dead, actually seconds after Doomfist had died. When Doomfist died here, the entire enemy team should have pressed S and waited as far back as humanly possible. Instead, for some reason, they continue to try and fight our Roadhog, out of all people. Doomfist comes back pretty quickly as he's very mobile. Despite Ana not being there, he engages with our team. They only have one team fight left. This results with their pants on the ground. Sombra EMPs and catches them out. Roadhog comes in and cleans up because freaking raid boss Roadhog. Arana's a freaking goat. She gets walls from the Sombra hack, sleeps the ulting Genji. We're able to melt him. The enemy team gets back in time just to boost my stats. And that's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe and click the bell to stay up to date on breakdown videos and all things Overwatch. Leave a comment below and let me know if you guys agree, disagree, or if any information in this video was helpful to you. Hobo out.